Trusting you had a great weekend, good evening, and a warm welcome to this Monday night's edition of Primetime News. I'm Salima Shumwefeleni Masipa. As always, if it's your first time joining us, please subscribe, hit the like button, and be sure to click on the notifications bell to stay up to date with the latest happenings locally and globally. Politics leads our news bulletin tonight. Aspiring SWAPO Party Women's Council Secretary Francina Kahungu is of the opinion that politics should be about serving others as opposed to self-gratification. She sat down with Nampa's politics journalist Edward Mumbu Jr. recently.
Kahungu noted that she views politics as a sphere to uplift others. The former mayor shared a vision for the SWAPO Party Women's Council in particular, and Namibian women in general, the state of SWAPO, implementation of policies, as well as what makes a candidature the right fit for the Women's Council top position. At the heart of Kahungu's vision is placing Namibian women at the center.
SWAPO Party Women's Council is ready to engage various ministries. We can talk of ministries of fisheries, we can talk of ministry of education, can talk ministry of trade, we can talk about any other partners, so that we just make sure that policies are there to say any activities given, there must be a share dedicated to women. And here we are not referring only to SWAPO Party members, but we are referring to women in general.
For Kahungu, failure is not fatal.
I worked as a domestic worker at one house in our village. And I am a very proud domestic worker because a person whom I was looking after, he is now holding a very high ranking position. So I am proud of my job. And allow me to use this opportunity to say that people who fail either grade 10 or grade 12, they must not discriminate any job, because any job will take you to another job which is better than your first job.
Like many patriarchal societies, Namibians are mostly on the periphery of decision-making, economic opportunities as well as access to land. Women too are the biggest victims of sexual and gender-based violence attacks. She aims to take the plight of Namibian women to the next level through the SWAPO Party Women's Council.
I have to pledge and vow not to use this position for my own benefit, but to think about others too. If I have that spirit, which I still have, I will then be able to work together with other partners, with other developmental partners, other wings of SWAPO Party, so that we really do away with things which are blocking women to fully take part in various activities.
Moving on to the Kavango East region, learners at Manjenya Junior Primary School in the region have to make do with sitting on tree stumps, beer crates and baby chairs due to the critical shortage of chairs and desks at the school.
Others have to sit on top of desks because of a lack of chairs. Village Development Committee member for education at the village, Philip Matemwa, who brought the matter to the fore, told Nampa in an interview on Sunday he is not happy with the situation at the school. He said learners were asked to bring their own chairs from home after the school informed parents at a meeting early this year about the lack of chairs. Matemwa said parents do not have chairs at home, thus gave tree stumps, beer crates or baby chairs to their children to sit on. Matemwa said he would like to see a solution found to the problem that dates back as far as 2019. The principal of the school, Herbert Diaz, said the problem gets worse every year as enrollment numbers also increase. He said he is, however, proud that despite the situation, the school has an overall good performance of 76%. Director of Education in the region, Fanuel Kapapero, said the lack of chairs and desks is one of the biggest dilemmas the region faces. He said in this financial year, 5 million was already spent to address the shortage of chairs and desks. He added that the problem is not confined to this school, as there are several new schools without furniture.
Minister of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, Kyle Schlettwein, on Friday inaugurated the refurbished Oshakati purification plant to meet the water demand of the growing population in some of the northern regions.
In a statement availed to Nampa on Sunday, the minister said the plant is the heart of water supply to the northern parts of the country and has a nominal capacity of 40,000 cubic meters per day, which supplies potable water to the urban centers and rural areas of the Oshana, Ohangwena, and Oshikoto regions. Therefore, the plant supplies an estimated 70% of the treated drinking water to those areas, serving over 40% of the Namibian population. He said due to the inadequate capacity of the existing plant, there is now a need for a new additional plant of 50,000 cubic meters per day to be designed, constructed, and commissioned, and the combined capacity will be 90,000 cubic meters per day, more than double the current capacity. The minister noted that government has received financing from the African Development Bank towards the cost of the Namibia Water Sector Support Program. He added that portion of those funds is to be expended on the provision of engineering consultancy services for the Oshakati Purification Plant extension. NAM Water is the executing agency for this project.
In a sad and unfortunate incident, the Namibian police reported that a 10-year-old boy drowned at Acacia Park in Otjiwarongo on Friday while swimming with friends.
Spokesperson of the Namibian police force in the Otjiwarongo region, Inspector Maureen Beha, told Nampa on Sunday the incident occurred around 4 p.m. at a pond behind Acacia Park. It is alleged that the boy was swimming with 4 other friends when he drowned. His body was retrieved around 5:45 p.m. by Otjiwarongo Municipality emergency officials. The deceased has been identified as Paulo Simon Tulonga, and his next of kin have been informed. Mbeya called on parents around Otjiwarongo to monitor the movements of their children in order to avoid such incidents. She said most riverbeds and ponds are flooded due to the recent rains the region received. Police investigations into the matter continue.
Your top roundup is up next. In our business and economic segment tonight, Namibian and Angolan government officials today called on the private sectors to capitalize on their immense trade and investment potentials to aid post-COVID-19 economic recovery. Xinhua gives us more insight.
This was highlighted in a joint communique released today following the conclusion of a 7-day trade and investment promotion mission by Namibia to Angola. The two nations focus on topics of common interest bilaterally and multilaterally. The joint statement noted to this end it was agreed to strengthen cooperation, namely in the sectors of banking, in particular cross-border payments and liberalization of exchange controls, finance and customs-related matters, industry and commerce, agriculture and fishery, oil and gas, public works and transport, energy and water, health, tourism, investment promotion, amongst others. The delegation of the two countries further reaffirmed the importance of the relationship, fraternity, and relations of cooperation existing between the people of both countries and manifested the desire to continue strengthening and consolidating ties.
A key survey showed earlier today that economic growth in the Eurozone jumped sharply in February as coronavirus restrictions were eased. Let's get more from AFP.
Growth accelerated to a 5-month high. IHS Markit said it is closely watched monthly survey, but it also noted that persistent supply constraints and soaring energy prices also pushed inflation to a record high. Its Purchase Managers Index surged 3.5 points to 55.8, higher than the 52.3 recorded in January. A figure above 50 indicates growth. The rise was attributed to the Eurozone, the 19 EU countries using the euro, exiting 2 months of tough restrictions designed to slow the spread of the Omicron variant. Omicron is now the dominant strain in Europe, but governments regard it as less grave than previous variants because widespread vaccinations and booster jabs have muted its impact. IHS Markit said after 2 months of curbs that hit the Eurozone economy, February saw these restrictions ease to the lowest since November. The service sector led the newfound optimism as increased travel and tourism pushed it to its highest level since last November.
With the business segment, we have come to the end of the top news. Stay tuned for the economics roundup, followed by the weather forecast.
A warm welcome to All Things Sport on Sport Planet with me, Michael Madimba. Local cycling headlines the segment. Namibia's national female champion Vera Lusa and Namibian-born South African rider Mark Pritson were on Sunday crowned champions of the Pupkewitz Tour de Windhoek after the completion of stage 5 of the tour. The last stage of the tour took place around the Von Bach Dam area at Okahanja. Lusa riding for Manny's Bike Maker Ladies and Pritson riding for South African team Honeycomb Pro Cycling held on to the yellow jerseys they won after the completion of stage 3 on Saturday morning. The last race of the tour saw Andrew Krugel riding for Food Lovers Market getting the better of Lusa in the sprint to finish first, while Lusa took the second position and her teammate Courtney Liebenberg was third. Melissa Hintz riding for FLM claimed fourth position. With these results, the female general classification saw Lusa retaining the yellow jersey she has worn since the beginning of the tour. Her teammate Liebenberg was second and Hintz was third. Meanwhile, in the men's classification, South African riders dominated the podium positions, with Pritson taking the first position and Brendan Downs riding for TEG Pro Cycling team came second. Pritson's teammate Travis Barrett was third. Now, switching on to football. Thomas Tuchel admits Chelsea are fighting to survive as the spluttering Champions League holders prepare to face Lille in the last 16 first leg on Tuesday. Tuchel's side have won their last 5 games in all competitions, but there was little joy on the German's face when he reflected on Saturday's 1-0 victory at Crystal Palace. AFP brings us more.
2 crucial fixtures this week will serve as a barometer of Chelsea's morale. If they win their European assignment against Lille at Stamford Bridge, then beat Liverpool in Sunday's League Cup final at Wembley, the mood music around Chelsea will be more uplifting. But a pair of negative results would only cement the impression that all is not well.
Your sports roundup is up next. And with that, we've come to the end of tonight's edition of Primetime News. Thank you for joining us. A parting reminder that if you're new to this channel, please subscribe, like, share, and click on the notifications bell to stay posted on the freshest happenings locally and internationally. Feel free to add your comments as well in the comment section. Catch us on the morrow for another edition of Primetime News. From myself, Michael Madimba, and the entire production crew, it's good night.